1, 2, 3.
In today's lesson, you will be performing two things. You will be pouring some agar plates, and then you'll be performing the streak technique. So let's start with pouring the plates. I'm sure you've all seen agar plates. Here's two examples. This is called nutrient agar, and this one's called McConkey agar. They're for different purposes. Both of them contain nutrients which allow the bacteria to grow, but they also contain something called agar. Agar is actually a gelling agent. So do not do this, because you'll waste the plate. But I'm just going to show you. It's soft. It's like jelly. That's because the agar in it is a gelling agent. It sets. So agar is not a nutrient. It's actually a gelling agent. There are additional nutrients in here which allow the bacteria to grow. So I'm going to chuck this one away because I've just touched it with my finger and contaminated it. This is McConkey agar. This also has a dye, an indicated dye. So we can use this to detect E. coli. E. coli is a common bacteria found in intestines. If E. coli will turn the dye pink or red. So if you get pink colony or red colonies, you know it's E. coli. It's used commonly in biomedical science laboratories for identifying medical specimens and also for water testing, for sewage contamination. So we're going to pour both a nutrient agar and a McConkey agar plate today. So for that, we need some sterile petri dishes. We'll cut the right end. So notice these are empty. These have been gamma ray sterilised, so they're sterile, so they're in a sealed bag. You'll need 2 of these. In fact, you'll need 3 of these. So you just take 3 plates, make sure that they're not broken. I think the top one here is broken. And make sure you get the lid. Quite a few of these are broken. Let's have a look and remove any broken. That's no good. So we've got 1, 2, 3 good plates. Okay. These are sterile. I'm going to label this nutrient agar. And this one I'm going to label McConkey agar. This one I'm going to do something slightly different with this. I'll show you that in a minute. So, if you heat up the agar and the nutrient together, they will melt. And if you keep this at 50 degrees, it will stay molten. So this has just come out, the water bath's over there. And in fact, when you take this and you finish with it, please put it back in the water bath so it stays molten. As you can see, it's liquid. This is McConkey agar, kind of a raspberry colour. So again, working close to the blue flame, I nearly forgot. Put the plate, lid side up. I'm going to show you a new technique. Again, you can work with your partner with this. This is just good practice, is to briefly pass the bottle through the flame. Okay, it's not to sterilise the bottle. What happens, it sets up a little convection, heats it up, and so air moves away from the bottle. Right, so just very briefly, flame that, and then you pour it. Now watch closely. If you pour slowly until it just touches the edges, that's enough. You don't want to overfill it. And I've found that if you just pour it until it just touches the edges, that is enough. And so if you look, that looks like half full. Now what you want to do, okay, is just carefully, you don't lift it up because it's molten. You want it to set nice and level. You take nutrient agar now. That's the yellowier one. Again, I'm going to briefly flame the bottle, pass the bottle through the flame, and then pour it until it just touches the side of that. I've done this lots of times, so I'm quite confident with that. Just touch the side. That always seems to be about the right volume of agar. Again, just moving it without lifting it. That's going to stay there for 15 minutes setting. Do not disturb it. If you want, I can check it in 10-15 minutes time to check to see if it's set. Now we're going to do another pour plate This is actually it's confusing. We're going to pour a pour plate. It's called a pour plate. I'll label that pour plate, and we're going to put some E. coli in it. This is a technique. Again, it's often used in water testing or bacteria that don't like oxygen so much. We're going to put some bacteria in there, and then we're going to put the agar on and mix it up gently, so the bacteria is mixed in with the agar, and then hopefully we'll see next lesson a swirly sort of cloudy pattern of bacteria within the agar. So we put that lid side up. We're going to need some of these tips, and remember again, you open the box close to the flame. You're going to use this pipette here set on 100.0. Some students miss the decimal point. That is 100 microliters. That's the maximum volume this pipette will work with. I'm just loosening that lid a bit. So I'm going to take a sterile disposable tip. Make sure it's on. Don't touch the end because that will contaminate it. I'm going to take the lid off this plate using my little finger, but again you can use your partner for this. Briefly flame the bottle. Slowly take up the bacteria. Flame the bottle again. And I'm just going to put that bacteria in the bottom. So if you can see there's a little drop of culture in there. I'm going to get rid of that tip. Now I'm going to use nutrient agar for this, not the conky agar. So again, I'm going to flame the top of the bottle. I'm going to pour the agar in until it just touches the side. Now, what we need to do is mix the bacteria in with the molten agar before it sets. Just with a little finger, to do a gentle swirling action about 10 times. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Notice I was quite gentle with that. Again, so you don't want to, if you're vigorous, you'll just spill agar and then you'll need to clear it up. Okay, just leave it to one side. Once that one's set, you can seal it up.